Hello everyone, this is Plankara, and welcome to my universe. And hello there, Inochi2D. I've almost got my hair physics done, and I am very excited. Her hair is so swishy. It makes me so happy. Oh no. Well, I hope you feel better soon. Being sick is no fun at all. Oh, well that's good. If it's one of those just... quick bugs that goes away quickly, all the better. Such things happen sometimes. Ah, I see. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with what that entails, so well, just do your best. Good luck. Health issues are never fun at all. Alright, so first thing here, I just really want to clean up some areas that seemed a little bit crunchy to me. Mostly in these strands, because, I don't know, these ones always seem to have trouble. Well, it sounds like it was especially cozy then. They can be. Well, so far I'm not really having any trouble understanding you, so... You seem alright. Okay, there we go. That's looking a little bit better. The other strands all seem okay, though. Let me just make sure nothing is broken elsewhere, because, yeah, over here still looks like it's having a bit of trouble, too. I do remember that I told myself that I needed to stop because I could tell that I was rushing. And indeed, I am seeing signs of that here, so I am glad I stopped. Are my eyes fire? You know, I never really thought about what they are. The orange has a history of just... how do I explain it? On the internet, when I spent more time on forums and actually talked to people, I represented myself as a tiny black kitten with bright orange eyes. And one of my initial designs actually had my eyes being purple here, but I decided to go with the bright orange because, well, one, I thought it looked great with the rest of the coloring, and the other was just, well, for that reason. Acknowledging the tiny black kitten with bright orange eyes. But mostly they look like this because I thought they looked cool. I see. That's okay, I know what you mean. And, actually, no, I think you, spelled it completely correctly. So, good job. That's not an easy word to spell. Ah, I see. We just have a little bit of hair sticking out there. Definitely can't have that. Why am I not getting the brush? Oh, did this open in the wrong version? It might have. One moment. I am actually going to fix that. Give me just a second here. Hopefully it won't be a problem if I save it like this. I'm gonna make a backup just in case something bad happens here. But yes, it seems like it opened up in the wrong version of Inochi Creator, so give me just a moment. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just gonna keep talking, but I better open the correct thing. Okay. For those curious about the difference between the paid version and the free version, this is it. This is the only difference. This screen comes up, it lasts for 10 seconds, and then I hit close. Anyway, let me go open my file. Okay, I thought that it was acting weird this morning. There was something that did not seem quite right. So I probably just have an old version of Inochi Creator somewhere on my computer. I should probably get rid of that at some point, but I don't know where it is right now, and I guess it's fine. I'll figure it out, it's all good. Anyway, back to what I was doing. That older version is probably the one that I rigged my personal model in. I mean, I'd be concerned if my computer was older than me. Computers weren't that great before I was born. Yes, I'm sure your computer's doing its best. But look, when you get to be 14 billion or so years old, yeah, you're not gonna find very many computers older than you. And if they are, they're more likely to be in a museum. It just reminds me of fun computer facts on how the average smartphone, even a particularly weak smartphone, is better computer technology than the technology that the United States government used to put a man on the moon for the first time. Modern day cell phones, better than the equipment we had for the first lunar landing. They are. We've come quite a long way. Computers have come quite a long way. And that technology is now in the hands of I guess globally, maybe not the average person, but certainly the average person within most of the developed world. So. Which I think is neat. I see. They're good to have. I still don't personally use my phone that much, but that's just because I rarely go outside. So, and I also have very good computers. Many, many good computers. And yeah, now that I'm looking at all this again, it is indeed a bit crunchy. I was definitely rushing things a bit, so I'm glad that I just decided to save it all for today. I was just very excited. Since this is, I guess, technically last step for hair physics, because I'll be adding one more little pendulum, just a tiny one, to add a little bit of gravity to the hair during the head roll, but this is going to be the last bit for hair physics. Alright. Oh yeah, no problem. Take all the time you need. I'll just be here, doing my thing, having a good time. My instinct when working on art is pretty much always just to power through, but, sometimes not the right calls. Sometimes you just gotta let things sit. You gotta take a break, eat some food, and try again another day. Cause yeah, I can tell that I was a bit rushed. I definitely was, and I am glad that I just decided to give this another look. I think I'm even gonna unset the corners here and clean those up after I clean up everything else. Because there was enough of a mess in these various places that I think it will be easier to start from there. Because, man, did I leave this hair rather crunchy and distorted. Definitely not the way I wanted to leave it. Some of it's not too bad, like here's okay. And all this is pretty okay. But there are enough issues. And I think it was actually around this strand that I was realizing, you know... Maybe I need a little bit more time and patience than I'm willing to give her right now. I think that kind of awareness is good, though. Just... I do try to keep going, just as much as I can. And get as much done as I can, because, I mean, if you only make art when you feel like it, you're never gonna finish anything. And if you're just doing it because it makes you feel good, then you know that's totally fine. You don't have to finish things. You can just do it because it makes you happy. But in this case, you know, I want to finish the stuff I start. So, on that point, I do sometimes need to push through, even when I don't necessarily, quote-unquote, feel like it. And knowing the difference between I don't feel like it and I need a break, I need to do something else for a bit, I think is actually a pretty important one. Because there is a very important distinction. Sometimes you do get creatively tapped out, and sometimes you do just get hungry. Or need to get up and walk around for a bit, and those kinds of things are pretty healthy. Just gotta take care that it's not out of laziness or certain kinds of frustration. Although even in the case of frustration, getting up and walking around for 5 minutes can actually go a long way, so... Basically, art is hard, don't worry about it. Maybe worry a little about it. Try to push through what you can, but sometimes you just can't. It is not happening. On days like that, I actually kind of like to negotiate with myself, where I say, okay, I'm going to finish this one little piece, or work on this, make progress on this one little piece. And once I've done that, I can then go and do this other thing that I am perhaps more interested in doing at the moment. Or I can take a break and play a video game or something. And it works out. Generally, my brain will be like, fine, I'll go do the thing. And I do the thing. And sometimes I can keep going. Sometimes just getting started is all I really need. And other times, you know, it don't work. And I still just like, okay, I did it. I did this thing. Time for video games. And I go play video games. Not all days are created equal. It is what it is. Welcome back, Edgy Kitty. Man, this strand is actually moving kind of weirdly. Well, I'd go as far as to say that most children suffer, no matter the country. Being a kid is hard. I do not think that this is an experience unique to middle children. Okay, there we go. It's really not, and they really don't. I would be very careful making statements like that, because they are generally incorrect. I can guarantee your younger sibling does not get everything they want. I mean, I don't know your family situation, right? I'm not gonna claim to. I never will. But, nobody gets everything they want. That's just not how life works. Alright, time to do the corners. Let's see, they actually look a little bit less crunchy than I remember them last time, so that probably goes to show that my cleaning up helped a bit. Yeah, YouTube does that. It's unfortunate. Wish I knew why I did that and what I could do to turn it off, but, YouTube gonna YouTube, I guess. Okay. Yeah, most of this isn't looking too bad anymore. Oh, I am pleased. I was afraid that these corners were going to be a nightmare. But it's looking like they won't be too bad, just a couple of areas where they're a little bit crunchy. Alright, let's straighten out that strand a little bit. I don't mind if there's a little bit of kind of flowiness to it, but right now I feel like it's just meandering however it wants, and I think it looks a bit strange. So, just kind of straightening it out a bit. I suppose it could be worse then. At least she's not angry with you. That is good. Good luck, friend. Alright. Yeah, I think this corner's looking pretty okay now. Yeah, I don't really see anything that I want to fix up here. Okay, let's go on to the next corner. It does look like this strand in particular just does not know what is going on here. So I get the feeling that this is the one that I'm going to have to fix the most. And oh, and over here. Over here never seems to quite know what's going on either. Actually, this whole corner is a bit of a thing. Okay. So, the last one wasn't too bad, but this one does not know what is going on. So I'm going to have a lot of little pieces to kind of fix up here. That's alright, I can do that. How do I want to fix this? I kind of don't mind it flipping out at the end. I think that's okay. So I'll just go ahead and kind of straighten things out through here. Yeah, I think that looks okay with the nice big flip out in the end. I think leaving things a little bit flippy is totally fine. I think that is totally fine. Nice and well organized through here, so I think this is good. On to the next one. Does this look okay? I think so. I think this looks okay. So that means the next ones will be over here. I guess you're okay, but this, we gotta do something about that. I wouldn't want to leave it like that. That would just, no. That's okay. I think it's also easy to fix because mostly it just looks like it got very, very squashed. So if I just kind of expand the bottom a little bit, make some of these vertices just a little bit further apart, I think that'll cover most of my problems. I don't know how that guy keeps getting so stretched out. Okay, how's that? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And I think this part is okay. I don't think he really needs any adjustment. So now, let me double check the claw area. I feel like the big gap here is almost a little bit strange, but I guess it's fine. I want to change that. If I did, I think I should change it here actually. Let me do a test to see how it looks if I bring this a little further up. Nah, I think it looks better the other way. So I would just undo all of that. I think it's fine like this. And with it like this, I think that all of this looks pretty okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay for things to look a little bit strange here. Just a little bit strange. That's kind of the nature of physics, especially ones where I'm deliberately trying to make it a little bit extreme. Because I want this to just make the tips of her hair like super extra flowy, and it'll be fantastic. Let me see. Is this okay? I'm actually gonna check the movement here. I mean, it'll look a little bit strange, of course. But how strange are we talking? How strange are we talking? Okay, no, I think that's okay. This seems fine. Okay. Now I just need to clean up this strand. I think this one's okay. I can't see the one that goes back there, which makes sense for this angle, so I will call that good too. So I guess this is the only one I really need to straighten out, and then I can go for the lower corner. Very, very close. And then I can do a bunch of testing and tweaking all my numbers and stuff. And that'll be pretty fun. Although, actually, I guess first I still have to do the shadows. But there aren't very many things that affected the shadows here, so that should actually be pretty quick and easy. For once. Yeah, some of these strands definitely got a little bit crunchy down here, but that's okay. That kind of crunchiness is actually pretty easy to fix. It is pretty easy to fix. You know, this is kind of funny. It almost makes these two look connected, even though they're not. These are two separate strands. I think it looks kind of cool, though. Normally, this would not be something you want to do when you're drawing something, but you know, this is physics. This is totally different. Nobody cares here. But I just think it looks funny. I suppose I should explain a little bit on why I say that if I was just drawing the picture instead of rigging a bunch of random hair physics, that you would not want to do something like this. And it reduces the clarity of the image. Like if I were to hide this strand here, you can see it is two distinct strands. And if I were to go to the default angle, you can see that this strand goes here and this strand goes over there. And so having it here, where it looks like they're connected, it just makes it a little bit more unclear on what's going on. And when you're drawing something, and because like the purpose of the picture is to convey meaning to the person looking at it, right? Even if you're just drawing your cute OC being cute, you're still wanting to show whoever will see this picture what this character looks like. And that she is cute. And all these other things. And so you want to make sure that the person seeing your image will be able to understand what is going on in your mind. And even little things like this that somewhat alter what's going on and make things less clear is not something that you want to have if you can avoid it. Random artifact of the day. Wow, this side actually looks just fine. Okay, cool. Okay, I actually don't like this now that I look at it a little bit more closely, so let's fix all this. What does make me dislike that shape? Actually, it's fine. I don't know why I dislike it. It matches up with what's on the original layer, so whatever it is that I dislike it is just weird brain thing that is not founded in reality. That's a good way to put it. Sometimes brains do that. Yeah, and most of this is just very minor straightening. Very easy. So I feel like it's all going pretty well, and the corners are cooperating with me. Always nice when that happens. Because they can certainly get a little bit upset at various things sometimes. It does indeed happen. So I'm always very happy when they just decided, you know what, we're gonna move great for you today, and everything is just gonna work out. Even if I have to do a little bit of work to make sure that everything is straightened out and looking nice. But I feel like art is cooperating with me today, which bodes well for me being able to get stuff done today. I look forward to it already. Gonna tweak all those values and get them just right, and then her hair is gonna be able to swish around exactly the way I like. I'm gonna be so happy. Dude, I love physics. They're just so much fun. And they make everything just so much more lively and fun to look at. I love it so much. I cannot gush enough about how happy this kind of thing makes me. Alright, and that all seems fine, so one corner left until I get to play. Like, I've done basic stuff with the pendulums, kinda gotten the gist of what I want from them. But once all three of them are, well, I guess in this case 4, I made 4, if I recall. Once all of them are done, that is when I get to really have fun. That's when the physics go from just getting stuff started to fully realized. I think that's a good way to put it. Just I get to finish it, and then the hair looks just exactly the way I want it to, and it's magical. It's so magical. Everything about it. Everything about it is fantastic. I still remember what my character's hair looked like before I finished the physics. It did not have the same energy. I mean, I love the way my hair moves. It's so much fun. I do think I want to straighten out the strand just a little bit here. I actually don't think it's too bad at this angle. It looks a little ridiculous, but I mean, like I said, this is physics. Everything should look a little ridiculous. It's like half the point. Everything looks a little bit extreme so that this way it can be extra flowy and fun. And all the vertices can just feel so free. And I can smile so hard that my mouth starts to hurt. That is kind of how I feel right now. Yeah, my face is gonna go numb if I keep this up. But I am just that excited. It is almost time. Last corner, and then I need to double check the shadows, but so few of the things that moved here have shadows that I do not actually think it will take very long to do all the shadows. Like, I think the only places that really have shadows that I'm gonna have to move would be the hair over the shoulder. I think there's a little bit on the face. Just because I do move her side hair a little bit, but I don't move it that much. So I think for once in my life, I might get to have an easy time with shadows. All speculation, of course. I cannot actually see the future. My brain certainly likes to pretend like it can, but it can't actually do it. Brains are funny like that. They always think that they know more than they do. That's why I said, you know, if you ever start making universal statements like that, you gotta be careful. Your brain is lying to you. Your brain does not understand the world that well. Nobody does. That's why we have to do science and pay attention to statistics and stuff. we could learn everything about the world from pure observation, then the scientific method wouldn't even be necessary. But it is, because we can't. Okay, don't quite like that movement there. There we go. I thought it was coming out of this strand here a bit more at a sharp angle than it should, so I'm gonna bring it back down just a little bit here. I do want this to poof out pretty strongly. But I want it to poof out pretty strongly at the right place, so this way it looks like it's attached here. As opposed to just flowing wherever it feels like it. The world in my art should at least try to make some semblance of sense. Do its best, you know? Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, look at that hair go. Let's go put the shadows back on. I'll, as always, start with the head shadows, but like I said, I don't expect a lot of this to change at all, because I started, like, moving stuff from down here. So if anything has to move, it'll be real small. No face shadows need to move. Most excellent. Already done with the first layer of shadows. Heck yeah. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure stuff down here moved a bit more than that. Yeah. Okay, let me just move some stuff kind of randomly here, and so this way I can get it in my layer stack, and then I can just copy everything. Hey, did you move at all? This loop did not move at all, so I do not care about that strand. I am not gonna worry about it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that part's gotten started. That one's gonna take a little bit more doing on my part. But alright, let's start with the easy ones, because, you know, doing easy stuff, it feels good. Let's get started. Most of these I can just kind of copy over. So the claw, I can't do anything with. Okay, but this one I can. This one I can. I'm just gonna gradually go through and identify which ones can handle the copy and paste. Okay. And now I just have the last one, which will be a lot easier than usual this time because I only moved like the very tips of things and there's just less to worry about. And I don't have to touch up there at all, really. Okay, let's push some of this into place and then I'll go refresh myself on how all of this is actually supposed to look. See, this is why we reference things. So that this way I actually know how things look, and I don't have to play any guessing games. I just remember and move it on into place. Okay, that seems pretty good. Let me double check it one more time. Okay, a little thick over here, but I think everything else is right. I think everything else is right. I just made this a little bit thicker than it should be because I'm used to the strand making that shadow look a little bit thicker than it otherwise would. And actually right here isn't quite right either. So, I should fix that too. Yeah. Just a little bit of straightening out through here. Just gonna take my time and make sure that I really get it right, because I do think that these shadows are pretty important. They really do enhance the movement of the hair, give them so much more presence. But I think that's good, so on to the next group. For the most part, I can just copy and paste and make my life easy, and it always makes me so happy. I do enjoy being able to make my life this easy. Okay, one more if I recall. Yep, that's that one, and there's that one. Perfect. Up it goes. Okay, and now I can just fix this last one. Let me see, I'm gonna use the path to form a little bit here. Help me out. Oh, did it not take my... Oh, I accidentally hit caps locks instead of tab. Oops. Alright, let's put some of these guys very roughly where it belongs. Very, very roughly here. Okay, I think this is fine to start. And the rest I will handle with the brush. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I just have to match the shapes here again. I think part of the shadow that's supposed to be underneath here got kind of sucked up here. Yeah, and then I'll slide this up and around. And just shove all of this over. There we go. Okay, right here still feels a little bit too thick for me. Yeah, that is way too thick. I'm not actually sure if I can find the ideal thickness there. Okay, no, here we are. This looks promising. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I meshed it well enough, but then I look at how detailed the mesh is, and I'm like, man, brain, what are you even complaining about? You try something for, you know, not even a minute, and you're like, huh, is this possible? Are you just looking for excuses to be lazy? Silly brain. All is well. Don't worry about it, brain. You got this. What is going on here? That does not seem right. Okay, I will try to fix this manually, or maybe I just drew it badly. I'm gonna take a look at this. I'm not gonna actually edit the mesh, but I want to see if it's... Oh yeah, I got a little blobby spot there. I just drew this badly. Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay, what do I want to do about that? Because yeah, I guess I didn't notice it because most of the time these shadows are kind of on top of each other. Because I think the blobby part is like up there. What do I do about that? What do I do about that? Oh, I'm gonna think about it while I fix down here, because I didn't make that thick enough. But I don't like the way that looks. There's gotta be something I can do. Yeah, we'll just try to combine them a little bit like this, I guess. Looks perhaps a little bit silly, but I think it's passable. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Up here, still not right, though. I'm not surprised. The vertices are getting a little bit bunched up there. It's okay, we'll let them spread out a little bit. Give them a little bit more personal space, and hopefully all of that will be resolved. Hello there, Jack. Okay, how is this? Is this the right amount of thickness here? Too thick over here, I think. Yeah, kinda... Oops. Fades into nothing down there. Do I have Behance? I'm not sure what that is, so I'm going to assume no. Okay, and over here is still a little bit thick as well. Actually, that means that I probably have a little bit more flexibility than I thought I did with that weird spot that I was complaining about like a couple of minutes ago. So I can afford to make this a little bit thinner. Yeah, that's much better. Going into the corner again before I'm ready, but that's okay. I will worry about the corners later. The corners scare me. They always do scare me just a little bit. I always underestimate how particular shadows are. Okay, looks like all is well though. So let's go ahead and do up and down. With any luck, the corners will cooperate with me today. They were doing pretty well earlier, so I am hopeful. I am hopeful. We'll see how this all works out. And at least all of these I can just copy and paste without a care in the world. Feels good. Feels good every time. Definitely speeds up this whole process considerably. I see. Well, it's nice to meet you. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So I am once again feeling like I am starting to understand where the shadows need to go. It always takes me a couple of keyframes before I really feel like I understand them. But now I feel like I'm starting to remember which areas I always need to fix and just roughly how thick everything needs to be. And then from there, I can just kind of go in and start moving the vertices individually to get the final shape. Like over here, I feel like I got a little bit stretched out while I was moving things around. But that is common. The brush tool is the destroyer of worlds, after all. It just pushes things around very indiscriminately. And sometimes that can have unintended effects that I have to go back and fix later. I still think it's faster than trying to move each vertex individually, though. Okay, so here is actually still too thick. Or even though I feel like I'm starting to get some idea of where the shadows need to go, I still always want to double check to make sure I have it right. So I will be going back and forth between these angles quite a lot, I think. And the tip down here, not long enough. The upward angle, things get stretched out quite a lot, so it makes sense that I would need to bring that further down. Right about there. Now, once I get the angle right, it should look pretty good. Just like that. I don't actually mind the shadow itself looking like it's being stretched out a little bit too. Makes sense with how the hair is moving. Okay. Just got a little bit of cleaning to do, and then I think this angle is done. Looking forward to playing with some numbers. I do enjoy playing with some numbers. Actually, I should take a look at that. Okay, no, all is well. I thought that this thing might have gotten pushed down a little bit too far, and so it wasn't long enough anymore. But no, it is fine. Nothing weird happened. Okay, downward turn time. Once again, I start by copying over the shadows that can be copied. Things that make my life a little bit easier. And I very much appreciate it. Just one more. Yep, there it is. Okay. And once again, I adjust the shadow around the claw. Every time I see this, I can only see a claw. Yeah, there we go. That's a reasonable start. Got some things I definitely need to fix, but I already feel like this is pretty close. And soon it'll be time for the moment of truth, where I see how much the corners want to play nice today. They've been doing well so far, so I'm hoping that they will work with me today. They don't always, but I am hoping that they will be in a good mood. And maybe that good mood from earlier will carry over and I won't have to do too much. That's always my hope. Its corners range from so easy I have to change absolutely nothing to pure pain. With, like, nothing in between. Absolutely nothing in between. So I am hoping that today everything will just stay on the relatively easy side. Okay, got a little bit to fix there, but let's see, is everything else good? I think so, so let's just adjust the last little bit of shadow on that tip here. And then I think all will be well. And it will be time to move on to the corners. Then I get to have some fun. I get to play with numbers. I like playing with numbers. Numbers are great. They get a bad rap, but numbers are fantastic. Okay, I think I want it right here to be a little bit thicker before I move on. I gotta tell my brain not to rush. We got plenty of time. It's very excited. It is so excited to just go in and perfect all the hair physics here. That's just it, brain. We gotta perfect it. And that means we cannot rush this part here. Because if I do rush this part here, it will not be perfect. And then I'll be sad because I'll see something weird and I'll wonder what the heck caused that, and I won't know, and it'll drive me nuts, and eventually I'll find it and I'll just be like, man, I should have fixed this earlier. Definitely talking from experience here. Okay, let's clean up this edge here. I think it's in mostly the right spot. I just thought it was a little bit wavy, and I didn't think it looked very good. So I'm just kind of straightening it out. Kind of same with over here. Alright, that looks good to me, so let's take a look at these corners. I've already fixed a lot of the strands, and indeed it looks like the shadows here are all following their respective strands quite well. Reverse mask making things a little bit hard on me over here. Oh, the shadow's actually a bit thin on this side. I thought that corner looked a little bit strange. I was wondering why the shadow got so thin in it. Yeah, that's better. And I think all this shadow is in the right place. I just need to clean it up and make it look pretty. It's looking just a little bit distorted. But I don't really think that I have to move things around too much. Location's fine, just not so much on the aesthetic front. Okay, those problems are actually pretty easy to fix. All I have to do is go in and make some small adjustments. I can tell that I've been moving things around with the brush, though. I always can, because vertices slide up and down quite a lot every time I do. It's just, unfortunately, easier than the alternative. Using the brush is so much less time-consuming than it is to be manually adjusting vertices one by one. Another thing I know from experience, because I rigged Plankera before the brush tool existed. So I had to rig the entirety of this model without the brush, and oh boy, did it take a while sometimes. Let's see, is that too thick on the side there? No, I actually think that's okay. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Just need to bring it out a little bit on this side as well. For some reason, thinking about all this is just making me think of Satisfactory. Like I said, basically in that game, we're building a factory, and I personally enjoy this factory simulation subgenre that's been becoming popular. It's a good time. They're like city builders, and Satisfactory's been fun because you can build, like, the most cursed factory ever. It only minorly cares about clipping, so... I get the feeling that the devs wanted to care more about it, but found it difficult with how they had things set up and eventually gave up. That is the impression I get from how it was designed. So, yes, the factory my husband and I are making together is extremely cursed. And the downside to that is sometimes it can take us a little while to diagnose problems because we don't remember what we were doing, and half our belts are going through other belts and the other half is clipping through the ground. We call them underground belts. Since in Factorio you could build belts that went underground, and they weren't so hard to follow. But the downside to building right like that is sometimes it can take a little while to figure out what's not working. I forget what reminded me of that, but something did. Because I don't think anything I'm doing here is like super cursed or anything, so I'm not sure why that came into my mind, but here we are. Alright, looks like the corners don't want to be very kind to me today, which is unfortunate, but I know how to wrangle them into submission. Because I always win in the end. It can flail as much as it wants, but I will always win in the end. Because I am sentient, and vertices on my computer monitor are not. They cannot fight me for real. Meanwhile, the brush made a lot of these little vertices get super close together, so I'm having to separate them a little bit, give them a little bit more personal space here in order to properly line all this up. There we go. This area's always a little bit messy, but I think that looks fine. Now I just gotta make here just a little bit thinner. It was a little bit too thick. So now I want to go through here. My husband was telling me a funny story about our kids this morning. Very, very cute. Apparently, my daughter is 5 and she has recently learned the alphabet and is now able to recognize most letters at this point. See, she certainly knows the song, so she knows the order of them, but she actually is able to recognize the proper glyphs for the most part as well. And she's been trying to teach her little brother, who is 3, the alphabet, and being 3, he hasn't quite gotten the hang of it yet. So apparently, when he tries to sing the song, just goes A, B, C, D, F, G. And she gets very upset. Like, the fact that he's getting it wrong is some act of malice against her. Little kids are so funny. She has an idea of how the world should be, even though she has largely not had to go out and interact with it. She's little enough that we've largely been able to protect her from the outside world still. She is living within our little bubble. But that will change soon, because she's going to be starting school in August. And that is going to be an adventure, I think. I think she'll do fine. She seems very socially competent for her age. So, I'm not really worried about her or anything, but at the same time, I kind of worried about her, because I am mom, and the outside world is scary, and I had a pretty bad time in school. I just did not enjoy it, and part of me still feels kind of guilty that I'm sending her to school despite everything that I dealt with, so... But I think she'll be okay. And I know that there's really no way around it, not when I don't really want to be responsible for homeschooling her. Because I really don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with homeschooling kids or being homeschooled. I think that a lot of the kids that go through it do fine. But for one, I do think that there is some value in being forced to hang around other people. People that may not have your best interest at heart. People that you have to get along with even if you don't like. And all that good stuff. And I also just do not want to be the sole person responsible for her education, personally. I want to be involved with it, but I do not want to be the one that primarily handles it. I actually think that this guy needs to be straightened out a little bit more here. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little bit better. And then the tip here got a little bit puffy. There we go. And I also realized while I was telling my tiny human stories that this part of the shadow was too thick on most angles. Nearly all of them, really. I just misremembered and did not look closely enough to see that I was misremembering. These things happen sometimes. It's okay. I'm glad I noticed now, though. Just so I wouldn't have to diagnose any weird shenanigans once I actually started working on the physics themselves. Once I started actually playing with numbers. But this is why I always look at the shadows carefully. The shadows are important. Alright, next angle. And indeed, I do think that everything except for a little bit of stuff through here looks just fine. So let's get it. Two more! Just two more angles. Then, I mean, strictly speaking, the hair physics won't be completely done until I do the little bit of gravity that I want for head Z, but I'm not going to be doing that now, so that will come a little bit later. Okay, I can't quite do what I did last time here, so let's see if I can make this look a little bit better through the power of flailing. Never underestimate the power of flailing. I think that's probably close enough. I do think that is close enough. I don't mind keeping the shadow kind of full in there. I think that looks fine. And so now, once again, it is just a matter of carefully adjusting all these things until they're finally in the right place. This one doesn't seem as far off as some of the other ones, though. It was pretty far off up here, but for the area by the claw, this actually seems pretty accurate. We'll see how I feel when I go to double check against the default. Because that's always the moment of truth there. Just want to bring the shadow out here just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, let's see. How are we doing? Okay, I clean up the side there. Right here is still too thick. Alright, that was all I really saw though. I will want to double check up top. I was pretty far zoomed in, so I don't actually think that up top was on my screen when I looked. So I gotta be careful about that. Little thick, but otherwise, I think it's looking quite good. It's okay, this is why I double check. Always double check things. Cannot let my brain get impatient, because I assure you, it is feeling very impatient right now. It really, really just wants to get to number tweaking, so this way I can swing her head around and watch the hair go wee. It's gonna be great. It already kind of can, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get even better. Okay, foot's falling asleep, so there we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, looks good. I think that is correct, so one left. This is the last angle before it is number time. And And I can show you all the wonderful glory of math. I've always hated that people consider, like, art and math and science to be, like, antonyms almost. The antithesis of each other. But I don't think it's true at all. These things can coexist just fine. I mean, all you really have to do is talk to a single math nerd. Like, the serious kind. The kinds that get their PhD in math. And there's a certain beauty to it all, and they can recognize it. I think these people, they just see it all a little bit differently. But trust me, math is an aesthetic. It very much is. And the people that feel that aesthetic, that enjoy it, they just see the numbers differently than most people. And I don't see why you can't be a scientist and an artist. They don't contradict each other at all. Alright, I felt like the shadows were getting a little thin in a few places over here, so I'm kinda filling them out a little bit more. And from there, I will be able to adjust some numbers. In theory, I'm not sure if the right there is thick enough. Actually seems fine. Here got a little bit too thick though. Here needs to be thicker, here needs to be thinner. That is what I'm seeing right now. Always like to just describe what it is that I see. I'm not always sure if why is clear, but I assure you that I am pretty confident in what I say here. And all I'm really doing is going back and comparing it to the original and saying, the thickness of this area is different. The angle of this area is different. Therefore, I should change it. And then I just keep doing that until I see nothing that I want to change. And the nice thing about hair physics is it's a bit less precise than turns, so I can say, you know what, that's close enough, and it's okay. It's totally okay. That turns I gotta be a little bit more precise on, though. Wait, did I just adjust this in the wrong place here? Or was I doing a comparison? I did just adjust this in the wrong place here. Okay, well, I should not do that. So let me find where I started changing it. Oh, that's embarrassing! Hitting the wrong keyframe there. Definitely don't want to change it on the default, though. That would not be good. Man, how did that happen? I just got my wires crossed somewhere there while I was rambling about I forget, but... always kind of amusing when that happens. Or maybe it's the kind of thing where I call it amusing because if I didn't laugh, I would cry. Okay, let's fix it for real. Let's fix it for real. Get all these shapes nice and even. Match up the angle as best I can. The angle of this hair is a little bit different than in the original, but I can at least let it follow the same direction. And I think that's what matters here. I still feel like the shadow here needs to be a little bit longer. I'm concerned because it's starting to run into the other one. You can see these vertices were kind of starting to overlap a little bit. I might not actually be able to make it long enough. Yeah, now it's starting to look weird. Cannot do that. Okay. Let me get to a place where this doesn't look terrible. Unfortunately, with how I meshed it, I think that I'm just gonna have to live with it like this. It is what it is. Alright. I think it's close enough. Let's go swish her head around just to make sure I don't see any super awkward shadows here. No, I think we're good. So, I think it is time to finish these physics. So let's go make my final pendulum up here. Add simple physics. You will be hair tip. And I want your location to be up at her forehead. Yeah, go hang out up here. There's no real reason for me to do this, but I find it easier to understand. So it's a choice. Okay, do that. This one I kind of want to go back and forth a lot, so I think I'm actually going to lower this to 75. Yeah, look at her hair go. Some parts I think are a little bit too swishy, like you can see over here. It's a little bit strange if I move her head a little bit too hard. So that's something I gotta pay attention to, but I am satisfied with the swishiness of the tips of her hair here. It is so much better than it was. Okay, so the first thing that I've been noticing is that I think I want this guy to be a little bit less floopy, because that's what kind of controls the area by the roots, and while I want a little bit of movement there, I think what's there might be a little bit too much. So I'm going to come in here and just lower this number a little bit. Sure, let's try 35. It is an arbitrary number. I'm going to be doing a lot of guessing and checking. I think it's actually okay on up and down. Yeah, up and down seems fine. Yeah, now it's a little bit less bouncy over by her roots, but I think it's still sufficiently bouncy. Yeah, that still looks pretty bouncy. So yeah, now it's just a matter of experimenting with the rest here, so more hair. So that'll be the ones up here. I actually think I want this one to move a little bit more. And you, I want to put you in my hair physics folder. There we go. So you, I'm actually going to move over a bit more. So let's just arbitrarily try 120. That is a number. I want you to move a little bit more. Try 90 here. Up and down, my numbers are a little bit smaller because her up and down head turns are not quite as extreme as her left and right. So I don't want to move it too much. I feel like... No, that's too much. Let's try like 100 even. And then I think I need to actually adjust some values on the pendulum itself. It might just be swinging back and forth too much. I'm not sure. This is a case where if I actually knew more about math, I'd probably have better luck here. But I don't know that much about pendulums. So I just kind of have to guess. That is a little bit better. I have a vision in my heart, and that is what I'm trying to find here. I just don't think it's quite moving the way that I want it to up there just yet. Let me double check what that physics layer looked like. So this was the basic, where I just kind of focused on getting the basic movement, what I wanted for the roots. What I have here seems fine. So what did more get? Yeah, I had some more extreme movement. Focused on everything except the roots. So I should be focusing on, like, what it does for me up here. Which actually might... That does tell me that I think what I actually want to be a little bit bigger is this one. My basic hair physics. Let's let that swing around just a little bit more. Okay. I think that helped, and I want the movement to be just a little bit bigger here. So rather than 35, let's bump it up to 50. I think I might have dampened it just a little bit too much there. Why the heck are you so big down there, man? What the heck? That is incredibly silly. So I tend to think of it like this. All of the pendulum stuff kind of determines how much it swings back and forth. Whereas, like, how the frequency, how much it slows down, and that kind of thing. Whereas when I'm just moving the pendulum itself on my head turns, I'm determining how big that swing should be. And here... And we're gonna make this a little bit bigger. Let it swing around a little bit harder. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. And I think I want this one to be a little bit bigger too. So I will try a different number. Like I said, this was going to be a bunch of trial and error with numbers. It is truly just playing around with numbers. Eventually I will find the number that makes me happy. Okay, that seems pretty good. So now swish. I think this is one where I want to move it a little bit less. Oh wow, but it's not actually moving that much. Is it just this number that's too big? Should I make it swing back and forth a little bit less? No, I think it looked better at 2. I do think it looked better at 2. Fortunately, I don't think anybody's gonna be like snapping their head back and forth like this. So I think it'll be okay. But I'm a little bit concerned with how this is moving here. Let me double check my physics node here. So I want to check swish. Alright, swish. What's breaking you? I don't know, it seems okay. I will check more then as well. It's probably just something awkward in the way they stack together, so I think it's probably okay. Alright, I think I want a little bit more on the tips here. Oh, it's because I haven't really moved it yet. That would explain why I'm not getting anything from it. Okay, arbitrary number pick, 50. Let's go. I'll do 30 for up and down. In that case, maybe I can afford to tone down swish. Yeah. I think I should tone down swish just a little bit. Bring you on over to... sure, let's do 40. Lower by like 15. See what happens. Maybe it'll make that spot that's... That felt a little bit too strong to me look a little bit better. Her hair's looking a bit bouncy. I think I want the tips to go a little bit harder. And let's make them super swishy, and we'll lower this a lot too. They're just gonna go all over the place. They're gonna have a grand old time. Just gonna be pure chaos here. This is definitely closer. But I think it's a little bit too much. So I will lower that number just a little bit here. Let's try 60, since 50 was what I initially had, and I thought it wasn't quite enough. I'll try 60. Then I'll just lower the other two by 10 as well. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And unfortunately, I do have to lower each of these together, because otherwise, when I swish her head around, it won't look right if I only do a couple of them. I get better results when I do it all together. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Took a little bit of trial and error, but I think this is about what I want. Her hair looks very fluffy now. Much more hair-like than it did before. Okay. Okay, so this one, I think I will export it after stream and actually load it up for next time. So this way, Swishy Hair Shalom will be sitting next to me instead of what I currently have. Even though I have a little bit more hair to do. Because what I'm going to want to do is, when she tilts her head like this, I want to add a little bit of gravity. So that this way this side becomes a little bit straighter, and then this side becomes a little bit straighter. Although, do I need to? Because this already doesn't actually look half bad. Okay, okay. You know what? Before I make myself do an extra parameter, I'm going to do a little bit of science. Let me see, what does the pendulum actually look like here? So if I rotate it another... I wish I could see it. I'll call it 20. I'm not even sure if this is the right direction, but... Yes, I want to rotate it the other direction. Negative 20. Does that also give me the... It actually unironically does. Okay, so I think I can save myself a little bit of effort here. 20 is a little bit too much. But that is what I was going for. So I think I can... just do a little bit more number guessing, and save myself the trouble of making another parameter. Yeah, okay. And here I can just do it on one side. Make my life a little bit easy. Use the same number for now, and see if I want to change it afterward. So now it kind of looks like her hair is falling down to the side a little bit better. I was figuring that I'd need an extra parameter for that. But no, I guess I just needed to let her hair tilt a little bit more. Just with the existing physics I have. Okay, I don't think it looks very good in the tips. Or at the very least, maybe I should only have it... No, let's try -5. So I feel like I got a bit of gravity-defying stuff going on down there. Okay, okay. I'm gonna remove this one entirely and move you a little bit less and these ones a little bit more. Where's Swish? We're gonna remove Swish. Yeah, I guess that's why I didn't want to do it like that. I don't like the way this is moving. And... let's put the tips back There is just something about how this is moving that I don't like. Everything else looks great though, so if I could figure out what's going on here. I don't like it though. I really don't like that. I don't like it so much that I will sooner make up myself a new parameter and deal with that. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to, because that just looks terrible. Let me at least try to diagnose where it's coming from. Unclear, unfortunately. Unclear. Does this make it better or worse? Way worse. Okay. So that is not how I fix that. Okay, so it looks like this. Does this make it better or worse? A little bit better. Okay. And does this make it better or worse? A little bit better, I'd say. And does this make it better or worse? Worse, I think. Okay, so I'll take out this one. Yeah, that is a little bit better. Let me take a look at this. Let's take a look. Does it look better if I try to cancel it out a little bit? And rely on the other ones. Kind of move it around. Yes. Yes, I think that is better. Maybe not quite that strong. So this is a changing the number issue. But I do think that that idea helped. So what I did is I kind of canceled out the rotation a little bit. So it wouldn't rotate quite as much. But yeah, I think it is looking like I may not have to make another pendulum, because I think this is pretty okay. Yeah, I kind of like the way this looks. Alright, let's copy it over here. And we'll see if I get a similar result and can just let her hair dance. Yeah, I think I'll take it. Alright, I'm gonna turn the other layers back on. I think I'm actually gonna turn this guy off just so I don't have that big diamond floating right in the middle of my workspace anymore. So we'll leave him off. Let's give her hand back too. There we go. Okay, let's take one last look at all the head stuff. Make sure all the values are where I want them to be, but I think this looks pretty good. Yeah. I think this looks pretty good. I am pleased. I really, really like the way her hair looks. I think it is pretty fantastic. And I don't think I need to add a separate gravity parameter. I think this works fine. Look at her hair go. Gets a little bit weird when you wiggle it that hard, but you know, that's fine. So yeah, I think I will leave it here. Next time, I kind of want to add a little bit of physics to her face and maybe redo her mouth a little bit. So this way, it opens a little bit more when she talks and you can kind of actually tell when I'm talking with her mouth. I kept it way too subtle. I knew what I was going for, but it wasn't quite working out. Anyway, let's import my data here. There we go. So this way when I export it, it doesn't overwrite all my tracking values and I can keep it all the same. And now we will export it as an Inochi2D puppet and overwrite this one. It may not let me. Let's find out. So texture atlas shenanigans. I can make it bigger because I have a good computer. But I think the middle one is fine. We will see if it complains since I am currently using it. Nope, it's good. Okay. Alright, so yes, next time we will have a shiny, physicsy version of Shalom. And I'll go do some more facial stuff, and for the rest of the stuff I want to do, I want to put a little bit of physics on her clothes, particularly her coat and the sleeves. But I have a little bit I want to put on her arm sleeves and these dangly things as well, and her belt. Down here, may or may not do anything. I definitely set myself up to be able to physics like everything down here, but I think I'm just going to do about the waist up only. The only reason that this belt was going to get any physics at all is just because part of it is in the waist up. So I think I'm going to keep it simple. But for today, I think this is where I will end. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.